and a good morning, afternoon, or wherever you're seeing this. Um, this is an intro to Saturday's Free Comic Book Day live comic coffee and comics with Marcus and his friend. They are going to who I forget the name of. Sorry. I'm going to put this intro at the beginning of that episode. I'm just making it because I want to tell you that there was a lot of people out there, and Free Comic Day was quite tiring because it was a lot of people and everyone was enjoying it, and I was enjoying it. But I drove from Sacramento, Fairfield, and Fairfield to Sacramento again, and then to my other actual job. But I just wanted to say that we're going to be talking about Iron Man. There's going to be some spoilers in Iron Man 3, so if you haven't seen that, don't really watch this. There's going to be talk about DC and Marvel, about if who is more edgier, and there's also going to be a little kind of selling, and there's going to be a weird guy that tries to sell old comic books and then jumps into, he said he used to collect stamps and stuff. So there's going to be a lot of voice backgrounds because there's, yet again, I'm saying that they're trying to sell stuff. So I hope you enjoy this episode, and I will see you next week. Have a good day. See, when the Don Cheadle, Terrence Howard kind of thing, where Terrence Howard was in Iron Man 1, but then...
You missed it.
All right. I got what you're saying.
No. I can explain this. Watch this. Let's get back to Iron Man. Watch this. Here is the secret to why Terrence Howard could not be in Iron Man 2 or 3.
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr. is like 5'9" on a good day.
Right.
Terrence Howard is like 6'3". He's going to put on that armor? No. You've got to get somebody who's closer in size to Robert. That's the whole point. He has to be equal to. Terrence Howard looks like he actually could kick somebody's ass.
Right.
I thought it was all about money.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's what
it was. That was the shine.
So
that's the shine they always use.
So that was the reports distracting us from the real thing.
The real thing is when you cast a movie,
right?
And you cast a movie, you like smaller actors because then you can hire a bigger actor to be the bad guy, and it looks like the smaller person is overcoming something greater than themselves.
So it's like a David and Goliath kind of thing.
That is how they like to cast movies. You cast it in the David and Goliath thing. So you want to have that smaller character overcome something greater. So when you had Robert Downey and you had Terrence Howard as his guardian soldier, that was cool because, hey, this is the guardian soldier. He's supposed to be bigger. The security guy is supposed to be bigger than the person he's guarding.
Right.
That's backwards if you've got Hulk Hogan being guarded by, or actually that's Lou Ferrigno being guarded by this little guy. You're not going to get the same vibe. Right. So you want it visually to look like this. So with Terrence Howard like this and Robert Downey like this, and then trying to have him put on the armor, then Terrence Howard ends up like this, and it's not going to work. So you have to get somebody more comparable, and then when they armor up, they're equal.
So how does The Rock get work at all?
Yeah.
The Rock gets work as the big guy. Now the big guy, he's never plays the real hero.
G.I. Joe.
The hero in Journey.
And G.I. Joe.
Journey 2. And in the latest Fast and Furious movies.
Okay.
And G.I. Joe.
No. He was the bad guy in Fast and Furious. The big guy who was threatening the big guy on their team, but he was still bigger than the guy. So that's how he played the role of the bad guy.
He's a cop.
Well, what about G.I. Joe? He was the main good guy in G.I. Joe.
That's true.
He's not the main good guy in G.I. Joe.
We don't even talk about G.I. Joe.
But G.I. Joe is off this conversation.
G.I. Joe is horrible.
G.I. Joe, we do not discuss.
Let's not talk about G.I. Joe or Hasbro movies.
We know too many military people. We are surrounded by bases, and I went with a bunch of military guys, and they were like, "Oh hell no! Oh hell no!" I was like, "Hey!" It got bad.
You realize this is based off a toy?
Yeah, no, they took it seriously. So they took it real seriously.
So do they think like they don't like the
There's
Call of
no
Duty.
way that Duke should be a general. And it's like, could you guys calm down? We're just trying to watch this piece. It was bad, man.
Well, what do they think about like Modern Warfare and all those games?
They like those games.
So
those
those are more
bad.
realistic than
Thankful, man.
an 80s cartoon
G.I. Joe.
action figure.
I got it.
Yes.
Okay. I was pointing out that movie was based off of a 80s
It was.
cartoon with an action figure.
Yes.
Not,
All of that. All of that.
yeah.
You can own all of that. You take it home. You have that in your house.
All of that.
All that.
On
All
the
that.
wall,
On the wall.
on the ceiling, when you're
To the
sleeping.
ceilings. To the
I
wall.
have 10-foot ceilings.
Oh,
That's fine.
you know what? I got a special project for that.
He can draw a 10-foot picture.
I've got a special project for that. I have that is actually a project that I'm working on.
Yes.
I've drawn a full-size storm.
Full size.
Right now
Storm.
she's only in ink, pencil and ink.
Pencil.
It's a 3 foot by
Notice
7 foot piece.
the trailers in Iron Man
So
3
yeah, so if
were almost all
I
superhero
would do that.
movies.
Yeah.
We have Superman,
Right.
Just to get the ladder order.
Thor.
Yeah.
Thor's coming out, then there's the Wolverine.
Right.
What do you think about the Wolverine?
I don't know. Wolverine
I'm a dentist in
trying
Vallejo
to
in
get rid of
retirement.
Oh my goodness,
Okay.
you're going
On
to
the
waterfront.
into a marsh.
like everyone has
And
always
I
had
purchased
that.
these 'cause my
Everyone's
brother
always had
told me
that
to.
idea of like,
Oh, the first
what would
kingdom.
happen
Oh my
if Wolverine didn't have his healing factor, but yet his claws?
It would hurt.
Yeah.
I used to collect stamps and coins, and I'm told that they're worthless.
That's no good.
Like a magazine.
But wouldn't that? Yeah. He wouldn't be able to fight like he does.
These are
Probably not.
I know.
Wouldn't his bone? Wouldn't his
Should I
hands
market
break?
it? How would I
from the
market
claws
it?
coming
Because
out?
I'm just an ignorant doctor, DDSN, MD,
Yeah. You would,
and not
well, there's
really,
a YouTube
not
cartoon.
really.
Or not cartoon, but there's a YouTube video online where these two guys they're like, you get to have any superhero's powers. And they're like, Wolverine. And they're like, well, no, you can't just say Wolverine. Wolverine technically has 2 powers. He has a healing factor and he has claws. So you have to pick one or the other. And they both like claws. And then the next scene is them in their living room going, why did we pick claws?
Those
They
blood-
keep coming everywhere.
People can't control. Like I don't know. But all right, so getting back to the Iron Man conversation. Now, okay, so obviously he has not recovered from New York.
Yeah.
He's having anxiety attacks, which is kind of funny to me. I thought they were hilarious that he was having anxiety attacks, and like a little kid was making it
I
worse.
didn't want to have malpractice.
That scene was good. You know what? When I saw the trailer, I was thinking it was going to be a much more depressing movie.
Right.
But it came off way more lighthearted and actually enjoyable than I thought it was going to.
Thank you
I
so
was
much.
pleased with that. I think the trailer does the movie a disservice by
Yeah.
making it look so ridiculously
Thank you
dark.
so much.
And I mean, I
Good luck
understand
with your
the point now
business.
because they had to make it look as though Ben
Can I buy
Kingsley
your titles at the
was,
comic store?
Yes.
the bad guys.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
they kind of kept that secret.
All right.
And the trailer it's completely misrepresentative of what the actual movie is.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
I'm back. I heard you
When-
had the Derek Rose.
when you
We
see
saw it.
when you see what
Derek Rose
happens
character. We thought it was him,
halfway
but
through
we
the
weren't
movie,
sure.
and you
Yes.
find
We
out that
actually did.
who
Can
the
we see
Mandarin
it?
really
Tell us the
is,
story?
you're like, really,
We're very
this is
interested
this
in
is
it.
genius.
Okay.
Whoever directed this film,
Do we keep in
effort genius.
Yeah, I like that. I mean,
It's all right.
I like that the villain in an Iron Man standalone movie, not an Avengers collection, but like an Iron Man movie, was not a giant robot.
Right.
Finally, like
Okay.
because
So-
when Whiplash busts out
Let me
in the second
give you
movie
the whole
with his big suit, I was like, didn't we do this already?
Yeah.
Like,
Didn't we do
script
Ironhide in the
was-
first movie
Ironmonger?
or whatever
yeah,
his
it
Ironhide?
was disappointing. And so for this one, for there actually be Iron Man Extremis
to look up people and think about
comic
which
series now,
direction
because I want to
the
see how it
character
compared to the books.
Right. But
And
here's
when
something that's
I
not really.
said that, I was like, man,
They kind of
Rose,
took a little,
that's-
they took some
Derek
liberties
Rose.
and
That's the man
rearranged
right
it a little.
there.
Is that
I
Iron
went online,
Patriot
grabbed a
in
bunch
the
of
comic
pictures,
books
like I said,
is Norman
I think I
Osborn.
really
He took over
I mean, right
Stark
there.
Industries
Yeah.
and made the suit.
That's him.
And they were
right?
supposed
That
to,
is-
they're
that
the
is
Dark
game
Avengers
time.
because it had
Heroes. That's how I was
it
like,
had
that's game time.
Bullseye's
That's what he
Hawkeye,
said.
Right,
I'm
it
game
had-
Wolverine's
time.
son.
wasn't it
time.
Wolverine's son and daughter or just Wolverine's son?
So, game
It was
time,
Wolverine's
Derrick
son as the
Rose.
Wolverine.
Right.
Wolverine's
you know,
son is Wolverine.
And of course,
Um,
the
it
close-up
had
Derrick
Norman
Rose
Osborn
right
is the
there. He's
Iron
like,
Patriot.
The Scorpion was Symbiote Spider-Man.
Right.
Derrick Rose.
And on and on and
I'll
on.
kick you off
So
my
then when you
shit,
see in
which
this
is what
movie,
he does. It's
when you
kinda-
saw like
it's
first
kinda
clips
subtle.
of
I thought
the
it
Iron
was,
Patriot, you're
I
like,
would have.
is Norman Osborn going
When
to be
it
in
was
this movie?
written,
Or
it was written to be
are we
like
doing
boom,
Dark
boom,
Avengers?
boom,
What are we
boom,
doing?
bam.
And then you find out
And I
that,
was like, man, I did it
they're just
totally
playing
different.
on
I
it,
had
making
more
Rhodey
free reign.
more
I'd
of a
have
Air
showed
Force
him
guy
just
than
kicking
War
him.
Machine.
And I will say,
Kicking him off.
I
Like,
missed the
get
War
out,
Machine
out
in this
of my
movie.
picture.
I did
That
too.
costume is
But
so
he wanted to be
badass,
focused
and
on
for
the
it
whole.
to just have gone nowhere at all in this movie.
Let's give the guy his props.
Well, I think that's
He
how
just
they had to
basically
tie that
stepped
in
up and
because
beat Hope.
they probably realized that, oh,
That's exactly what
Iron
he did.
Patriot is a
He's
completely
like,
different guy and a
so
completely
here's how the
different
story goes.
comic timeline.
Basically,
So we might have to
the Hulk
rewrite
sees
something
this
and
giant ship. This is
explain
actually
why
Red Hulk.
we did this.
He sees this
So,
giant airship,
which
this
is,
the largest
I thought was
airplane
good,
in the
but
world.
at the same time, I kind of wanted
It's
to see
the
Norman
one-
Osborn in it instead of
They're in Russia.
Rhodey.
Well, did you hear
each
about,
one's made individually.
Quicksilver
You
and
cannot
Scarlet
use
Witch?
parts
No, it did not.
from one.
There's
plane
internet rumors
to the
right
next.
now that
The
they're
internet rumors.
pretty well
Each
confirmed
one
to
is
be
made.
on the Avengers 2, the
So you
team.
can't even use the same nuts
Which
and bolts. I mean, literally,
Means that they'll be the first characters that'll be crossed over between Sony's normal movies,
Right.
because they're Magneto's son and daughter.
Right.
So you've
And
got
eventually they're going to be in the
Red
next
Hulk,
movie.
who sees the giant
And
ship, he goes to jump on
Marvel
it.
movies with
Right.
the Avengers and all that crap.
Jumping on the ship.
And they're saying that what they might do is they might
Okay.
introduce those two characters,
And so
have the
this
same
guy's
actors
like,
play them, and have them
I
be
know
in
you
both
ain't jumping on my
universes,
ship.
but they cannot reference any of the other characters at
Give me
all
my
while they're
guns.
doing it. Which
No,
I think
no,
would be
he
a
didn't
little
jump on
bit
my ship.
difficult,
No.
and only that
He
if
didn't
they're going to be in
jump
the
on my
Avengers, they're
ship.
going to be
Give me my
heroes, but if
guns.
they're going to be in the
He
X-Men,
steps
they're
out
going to
of the
be
plane
villains.
and just
Yeah.
shoots
So
him
I'd be
with
interested to
a
see
weapon
what
that
they
makes
do with
him
that
vomit.
and how
I was
they
kind of being trying to be a little
actually
subtle
make
in
that
there.
work.
Shoots
I would
him
like to
again,
see
he shoots fire out because
Quicksilver
ain't
and Scarlet
nothing left
Witch.
in his stomach.
Right, yeah, those. For a while, I didn't know who Scarlet Witch was. Like, I knew I
And
seen
then
a
he hits
picture
him
of
with
her,
a gas
and I was like,
gun
oh,
that
okay, she's cool.
gives him an
But then I
epileptic
realized who
seizure,
she really was. I was
knocks
like,
him
oh,
out,
that's
tells him
Scarlet
to
Witch.
live.
Got it
I'm
now.
just letting you
Now
know.
that I
You
do,
don't jump on my ship.
comic book things.
Yeah.
So,
I see you
But,
again.
okay, so-
I'm not gonna be so nice.
and
but
also
get off my
too,
ship.
like the suit. Like you notice when the house
That's what
kind of
I'm
went
talking about
down.
right there.
You're like, oh no,
So yeah,
all the
that's
suits are
the
gone.
Derrick
Right?
Rose.
But you're wondering,
There.
well, he's only
Right
got
there.
one suit, and it struggles
Yeah.
with flight. It struggles with flight, and it struggles with because you didn't see him use his hands a lot
Yeah.
with the powers, and most of the time he's either walking or he's flying a little bit, or he's free falling.
Or he's doing like a one-handed flying with
Yeah,
one
and one boot and
glove.
everything. Yeah, or like in the snow where he pulls out that small
Tell you
little
what I'm gonna do.
like quick gun thing where it shoots out and
I'll
explodes
let
and
you have
then
all 5 pages.
shoots
$50.
out. But
All
what,
five.
what were your thoughts on
All
that?
5. That way you get the whole set.
I noticed that
and the whole set goes
it's-
somewhere. I know
it's-
where the whole set is going. And
I'm going to
in 10
contradict myself
years,
and say
it's
that
gonna be worth a whole
this
lot
movie
more
had
because
more armor but less
I already
armor
got a book in the
than
works
any of the other
that
movies, if that makes
changes
sense.
the game,
Right.
and
Because
they're already
obviously he
talking
releases the
But
all
if
of the
you want
different
it,
armors that
you know,
come and
I know you
basically
like
have a
it,
war
so
with
it's kind of like one of them things
And
where it's like
at the same time,
you want the set,
there's a
man,
large
I'm
portion
willing
of this
to let
movie
that
where
go.
it's just Tony Stark,
Just-
like
is it?
James Bond,
Oh,
basically.
I think it might be more than
Basically,
that.
yeah.
But
Like,
whatever
he
it
makes
is,
a bunch
it's yours.
of cool gadgets, goes into a mansion, and just plays super spy. And it was no armor involved. It was just Tony Stark. So it was interesting.
I do not, but I can get it.
They decided to make a majority of the movie with little to no armor. And the one armor that they did primarily feature was comic relief.
Yeah,
Like the amount of times that armor gets smashed was
was a
funny.
lot.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it was, but it was funny in a good way.
it
was like-
gave it its own personality.
It wasn't like, I'm missing a piece, can't fly, wet. No,
Yeah.
it was
Gonna
actual,
go
like,
next to,
he was tied up
trying
to
to
a
buy his
bed,
Memphis
and
jersey.
the small door wants to go off, and he's like, wait for it.
Okay,
He's
okay.
like, no.
Oh, it's more than that, man.
And
no.
Getting
Seriously,
like-
you're going to be dead in like 5 minutes.
I
And
forgot
it
I
took
went off on this
forever, which was cool because the
Like
kid
I
locked
said,
the armor up.
I want
What
the
do you
So, without you even knowing.
Have you seen the DC cartoon Doom?
No. What is that?
Doom is about all of the JLA being taken down one at a time separately.
Really?
And I mean, it tells you right there in the trailer.
Yeah.
The reason why it's able to be done is because Batman planned out a failsafe to kill
Right,
every
right.
single one of the JLA in case he had to.
Right. He had that. Did you ever see the that Justice League direct cartoon?
Sure, and you'll be
With
able to,
Vandal Savage?
like I said,
It was basically. It was called Doom. Never mind.
All
I know
right.
it's called-
the same thing?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I popped in my head now. Yeah, that was crazy.
That was a great cartoon.
Yeah, because
It was based on the book, though.
yeah, but
I don't
see,
read
here's
DC
what
books.
here's what the crazy part is that Batman knows all these. Like
Yes.
no one's told him. No one's told him. Listen, this is how Flash. This is how you could kill Flash.
But what's the one word we say about Batman? World's greatest detective.
Yeah.
Now,
True.
if you read Spider-Man, Straczynski wrote in Spider-Man that the whole reason we fight each other is just in case one of us goes crazy, we know how to take him out. And I thought that was the coolest line because he was fighting a gamma irradiated villain.
Right.
And he said, this is why we fight each other, so that we know how to take each other out. Because the guy was like, he's treating him like the Hulk. So it's like,
Right.
I know that for Hulk, Bruce Banner is his power down option.
Yeah.
He needs to rest. He can't be at full power. Here, I can back up, man. I can back up.
There we go.
Back up, I can get close. His son ain't here. I can get closer to him.
Tony Stark goes a little Batman in Iron Man 3.
He should.
Yeah.
He gets very detective-y.
Yes.
He's spoiling everything.
But I got spoiled.
I'm gonna. Hey man, you want to hit it after this? I'm gonna hit it after this, man.
If I can,
I'm not playing. I'm so
if I can
serious.
get my wife up for it.
Man, we'll fandangle some tickets and just run on
Tickles.
over there.
He's gonna get some tickles. We're gonna go
I'm gonna fandangle some
We're gonna-
tickles and get over to the movies. I thought y'all understood.
I gotta update my face.
Some yeah.
You gonna fandangle some tickles?
That's some comic book slang for you
That's
guys.
some new stuff. We inventing stuff here. This is how we get
Out
down.
in
We
the street.
invent new stuff.
Fandangle and some tickles.
Yeah.
Fandangling some tickles.
I'm gonna fandangle with some tickles later tonight. If you know what I'm saying.
All
know what I'm saying?
All right. We understand.
But continue with your
So
whole.
what I was saying was, so it's understandable that Tony Stark goes there.
Right.
That is the point of Marvel's. He's one of the smartest men in the world.
Right.
Okay, you the smartest man in the world. You can't tell that your girl is playing on you.
Right.
No, you're supposed to be able to go. Well, man, I knew where you was at before you got there. I called him and told you were coming. You know,
Right.
That's the whole point.
Right,
of
and that
these
was
guys.
probably one of the whole points that Nick Fury recruited him, because he knew that he was good with gadgets and he was smarter than,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, see, that type of the polygenius is rare.
Right.
You know, and that's why they made that movie about Da Vinci, because you have polygeniuses, but I'm trying to figure out which way I'm going. Polygeniuses are rare, meaning that they don't have a specific genius. The way memory works, most people have specific memory types. There's a specific memory type where, I can remember all these numbers, but you will lose your keys at the drop of a hat because there is no absolute. So then you have polygeniuses who have genius in more than one area. Tony Stark is a polygenius. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to run Stark Industries and build the armor. So it's like, okay, you've got multiple geniuses. So yeah, I can see Nick Fury
Right.
going, yeah, all right, this is not just somebody in a suit. Because realistically, if somebody builds a suit, they're not necessarily going to be the best person to wear that suit. They're going to be like, you know.
Right, and that's why, I think that's why some people like Lex Luthor, because, yeah, he's kind of always wants to take over the world and everything, but at the same time, he's very smart, but uses his genius in an evil way, which is kind of the only thing that DC has. They don't really have that too many genius evil people, because like Marvel has Norman Osborn,
Marvel has the intelligentsia.
Yeah, Marvel has Norman Osborn, Doctor Octopus, or Doctor Octavius, if you want to go his real name. Doctor Strange could be evil or good either way.
Doctor Strange is evil.
Yeah, he can go either way.
If you think about it.
Right.
And I think, nobody really thought about, I'm the protector of Earth's dimension. I'm not necessarily the protector of humans. I mean, feel me on that. If humans are the problem, what am I going to do?
Right.
I mean, nobody, you got to think about these things. And, I think that's what's missing in comics is that we're recreating our childhood. We freaking just shaved Storm's hair again. Why? Oh, she got a divorce, so she's going to start wearing a mohawk.
But didn't she have a mohawk like way back in the 80s?
Because people are recreating their childhood. Recreating their childhood. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
but we can't keep recreating our childhood. We got to break new ground. And Doom was breaking new ground. It's like, you the smartest man in the world. Yeah, I figured out how to stop everybody. That's my whole point. We need to know.
Yeah.
If you go bad, understand, I'm the man that got the bullets. I can take care of you. So.
And it was genius that he took them all out in a matter of like 3 minutes.
That's all it really takes.
Batman didn't have a plan for himself.
Because he's the easiest one to take out.
But the thing is, he even said at the end of the movie, though, that he was like, he told Superman, I expect that you have a plan for me.
Right.
He's like, you should have a plan for me.
Yeah, because, I mean, Bane and Metallo basically just did what they always do to Batman, is go after his dead parents and, hit that button that everyone hits eventually sometimes. Which is fine because I think he knows that by now.
Oh, yeah, that's his weakness.
But to know that the Flash, to know that you have to keep the Flash at a certain speed and to screw on a bomb on his wrist, not
nice.
anywhere else.
That was nice.
But his wrist, and tell him, listen, you need to you can't go really fast and vibrate out of it, or go really slow and stop it. You have to stay at an even speed, and you can't get tired, because if you get tired, either way, you're dead.
Right. Well, that was the whole point. That was nice. That was nice.
And to have Wonder Woman literally fight herself to death was genius, because she's a warrior, and that's all warriors really know.
Well, I had to give it points. It was well done. I don't remember. You know what? I've read the book story, and I don't really recall the book story. But to me, the real way to take out the Flash is a banana peel. I figure, bunk that. You're going hyperspeed. Let me just throw that bad boy down. You have escape velocity.
Well, that's in like the Titans, Deathstroke always goes after the Flash, over Kid Flash first, because he could just pop one in his ankle. There goes the Flash.
Yeah.
And so, like, in those old Teen Titan books, Deathstroke knew how to take out each and every Titan one by one, even if they came at them as a group.
But I think that is the point, is that, the Gestalt theory that is a part of the team dynamics. A lot of Japan is very big on this. They're always reinforcing the Gestalt theory. We are the ones who reinforce the individual. And because that Gestalt theory that's what Deathstroke is doing. Together, you guys can beat him. By yourselves, you'll never take it.
Sure.
Never take it.
So, if you look at both universes, Marvel has the Punisher, who basically just kills. And then, you have Hawkeye, who kills. And even in these new Hawkeye comic books, you see him, it always starts off with, oh, this might look bad. And it always shows him, like, waking up from a hangover because he drank too much. And, he's having, like, one-night stands and everything. And you're thinking, wait a minute, what is this guy doing? He's an Avenger. Superheroes don't really do this. Because if you read, if you go over to the DC side, you don't see any of them doing that.
Well, you got to think about, which is really funny, because I was reading Tom Strong last night, and I got out like one of the old Tom Strong adventures, or Tom Strong special adventures.
Right.
And there was a Peter Bagley story in it. And the story that Alan Moore wrote is that when kids are kids, they want the all ages type stories. They want the revisionist, dark hero stories. And he was talking, and he literally was talking about, yeah, and then we should be drinking alcohol. I mean, he literally said everything you said Hawkeye was doing. He literally said that's what they want, and that's what you're seeing Marvel trying to do. Is we're trying to be edgy and dark and edgy. So this is Hawkeye. He's edgy. He's supposed to be like a noir hero.
Yeah, because what I get from reading that first graphic novel that came out, which by the way you can buy at your local comic book stores.
Read.
It's a mixture of like, you ever see Californication?
Yes.
That show?
Yes.
And take David Duchovny, that guy, that character,
all right,
and make him an Avenger. That's basically what I got out of it, is that this man is a very broken man, and he's going through all this stuff, and he just fought with the Avengers after New York, and now he's got money, but he's living in this broke-ass apartment in Brooklyn, and the most joy that he gets out of life is going up to the roof of this building and just having barbecues with random people that don't know who he is.
So here's all right. This is the problem with success at a place where there is no creativity. Basically, you've taken Ultimate Hawkeye and brought him over to the regular Marvel universe. That's really all you're doing. Is you've had success in this one series, and now you're trying to feed it into this one universe. You know what? Hawkeye is a kid from Wyoming.
Yeah.
What about him matches this character that you have out there now? You know, you're blowing it. You're missing the whole point. He doesn't have to be that character to be entertaining. I was just reading a freaking classic detective series about Travis McGee, written by Ronald D. McDonald. Oh, it's on my phone. And let me go here. John D. McDonald. And this is like, you read the story, and it is your classic detective stuff. This guy is going out there. My whole job is I help people collect money. They collect resources they wouldn't otherwise collect. So when I need money, I find someone who is in need, and for half of the proceeds, I will get their money back. I will get whatever they lost back for half of the proceeds plus my expenses. Okay, that's very mercenary sounding.
Right.
The guy is absolutely ruthless. He's asking this guy questions, and he's like, okay, you know, he slipped himself next to the guy. He's whining and dining the guy. They're hanging out. Then as they go to get in the car, he knocks the guy out and takes him, and he's torturing him in the shower. He's giving him the water torture.
Waterboarding.
Okay. At the same time, he finds, because he's trying to collect this money, and he's doing it for the daughters of a dead soldier. And they're grown up. So he's trying to collect this money. He's torturing people, and then he spends like 2 weeks taking care of some woman who's lost her mind. He's like, I can't sleep with her. That would be the wrong thing to do. She's not in her right mind. I must take care of her. And he never touches her this whole time. You don't have to be a degenerate in all areas of your life to be a dark, effective person. And that's the whole point. It's like, you know what? Hawkeye could have been just as interesting without that dark side.
Right.
He could have been just a happy guy who just likes to barbecue. And then I have to go out there and do a dirty job, because that's what most people are. You know, you have your work face, you have your your home face. Okay, I like having barbecues. I like inviting strange people. I go down to the street and say, hey, we're having a barbecue on the roof. Pop on in. Boom, okay, you're a nice, friendly guy. You're not this, oh, they don't know who I am.
Instead you get this guy that has tons of women that know who he is, and yeah, he always seems like he has bandages on either like his face or his hands, but yet he's still practicing inside and stuff like that.
Yeah, that one. The old take the fingers thing.
Yeah.
Look, if you're already shooting a bow, you already know how to handle your fingers. You're not getting the feather burns and the feather cuts. Come on.
Exactly. And plus, he also has like all that training. So why would you think why would he get his ass kicked some of the time?
You know, well, you know what? Circumstances and situations in a fight are really tricky. And especially when you go out and you pick the fight. Because when you pick the fight, you don't always pick where the fight's going to take place. So, you know, I come upon a bank robbery, the ground is a little rough, you know, I trip and fall, and suddenly Ming the Merciless is kicking me in the gonads, you know? Yeah, it happens to the best of us. That's why, you know,
Sure.
cops eventually, you know, they eventually stop going out. They reach a certain point where they can't deal with situations as they come. So, yeah, I can see, all right, you know, sometimes you lose, but you shouldn't lose all the freaking time.
No.
You shouldn't be scuffed up every time. It's like, look, I'm shooting you with an electro arrow. I shouldn't have to sit there and beat you to death. I've just shot you with the electro arrow. You should be laying out, and I should be done. Because that's the most effective way to win a fight, is not getting in it in the first place. I have a long-range weapon. That's what I do.
True.
So, yeah, they're trying to guess. They really should have just left alone. Left alone.
And what are your thoughts on like the new 52, like, and then trying to like change it up a little bit with everyone?
Honestly, because I'm more of a Marvel person, my first impression was, oh, they're doing their own Ultimate series. This is DC rebooting. But then, like, from what I hear, like, especially like in Batman, they didn't change a whole lot. Like, there's a few things they did here and there, but most of the part, they kept the continuity the same.
Well, I would say the most ridiculous part about the Batman change is telling everyone that Tim Drake wasn't Robin. He was Red Robin the whole time. Like, Robin stopped at Jason Todd. And what was
I didn't know
cool,
that.
yeah, and what was cool about what they did with Batman is after the New 52, they were bringing everyone together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you saw everyone in each other's comic books. So you saw Nightwing and Batgirl, you saw Damian and Red Hood, you saw Jason Todd, well, you saw
Giving
Tim
away
Drake.
Damien's identity. He's Robin.
Jason, you saw Tim Drake. So Tim Drake with Jason Todd. You know, you saw all of them. And then when the Joker returned, it was like a collective family affair. But at the same time, they also like it kind of was like it was a good thing that they're all together. But then once Joker happened, they split off because the Joker took the best of them and destroyed what good thing they had all together.
Well, my thing about, well, the New 52 was not the Ultimates. God knows it wasn't. It was not DC Goes Real World. That was kind of, I think a lot of people were expecting that. It wasn't. It was a honest reboot on most of them, except, and this is the thing I said, is what they did was reboot without the. Trying to think of a good word. I can't think of a good word for balls. They rebooted without balls.
Right.
If you're gonna reboot. There you go. There's Tony Stark.
Go touch him in the chest.
First of all, he doesn't have an arc reactor in his chest.
Oh, there is that. So they rebooted without balls because they kept the books that had the best sales. They kept them going with the same continuity. That was, so you had Green Lantern and Batman that really weren't affected at all. Everything else, Superman went from zero. He was wearing your costume.
The
You are
Action
in.
Comics.
This is the actual Superman costume. Stand up and give them the whole view.
See,
It's jeans and a Superman shirt and a cape. That was his costume originally.
right, and then it went into the like kryptonite robes.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like Iron Man, where
Now he's
the
the
S.
armory.
Well, he just has
Superman.
the S on his chest, and as soon as he jumps off a building or something, the suit just starts covering himself.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's no more ripping off the shirt.
No more. Well, of
No
course,
more taking off the glasses,
taking
ripping
off
off
the
the shirt. It's
glasses,
just
doing the shirt
I'm gonna
thing.
jump. I'm just gonna go from my suit to up in the air, and then the Superman suit's gonna crawl on me.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought it was. Like I said, I thought it was without balls. I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah.
If you're committed to, we need to do this to bring a fresh new change to these characters. Okay, great. Start from zero and go. But not, well, these guys have good sales, so we're not going to mess with their sales. But we're going to reboot everything else around them. It's a brand new universe, except where their stuff happened.
Well, where I see where this is going is that everyone had their own teams, everyone had their own history and stuff like that. They restarted it from Action Comics #1, Detective Comics #1, all of the main titles #1. But they're slowly starting to trickle old people back in. Like The Flash. They're talking about bringing Wally West back in. And I'm thinking, well, how are you going to do that now if there's only one Flash?
I don't even remember what happened to Wally West.
I don't either, but they brought back... Now
Barry Allen came back.
Right, now they have the Reverse Flash. I just read that current issue, local comic book stores, where the Reverse Flash is the professor that tried to help him contain all the Speed Force in him.
Okay.
And it's a completely different costume now. It's not just like it's not like the Flash's costume, yellow and red. It's more of like a beast swallowed him, and then took hold, and now he's the Reverse Flash.
We'll have to go get a book out of the store.
Yeah. If you want more of an image of what I just said, go to this comic book store we're at, or any other comic book store you're at, because
you can also go online.
Yeah.
Just want to see the image, but buy comics.
Right.
Buy comics.
Right, because help this guy and this guy make money,
yes.
and this man has a family. Okay. This man needs food. Kids need food. And you can't really feed all for sale.
All for sale. And what these are...
Also, he's selling stuff.
Storyboards are... These are... What happens is with Marvel, you have to try out for each book. If they offer you a book or they want to see what you can do with a book, they have you try out.
Come by
these are my
this
tryouts
awesome
for
issue right here.
year.
The comic book I just got.
Of course, because they have a bunch of...
Because I am awesomely
They have a bunch of
salesman.
X-Men books.
See,
I
come by
have
this.
2 X-Men samples.
Because this is
different
amazing.
X-Men, different styles, too.
To appeal to
It
them.
helps
yeah.
this lovable man
Yeah,
Hopefully
that
to
doesn't
appeal
really
to
smile all the
Hopefully.
time.
Spider-Man.
Did you read issues 2 and 3 yet?
Yes, I
And
have,
this was
actually.
a series somebody else tried to shop. That
Okay.
one.
You could.
This I did for the Detroit
Is there
School
something you want
District.
drawn?
No, I was just wondering if you guys were
The
doing it
kids
because last
actually
year
won
they
the
did
right
little
to have their
sketches
comic
like
book
that
produced.
Yeah,
It was
I have sketch cards.
the grades thing.
You have sketch cards?
And so
And
I
feel free.
produced,
I mean, these marshmallows are free.
they
This is my
created
comic
their
book
own
Mailman.
characters, and I drew
Take a
them.
look if you want.
It was through a...
I'm
All right, guys.
saying
Have
from
you
draw me Detroit. something
Oh, it
from
was
your
through a
I will
consortium.
see you all later.
Online consortium.
Okay.
He's going to draw something.
Online.
I'm gonna draw
So I
something.
produced
All right.
these.
Have a good time. Read comics.